Oh shit, the new beat. Oh shit.
Hey, A, P-A-W,
Hey,
P-A-W.
hey, Paul.
This the podcast, moving way too fast. Yeah, I got some class. That chick, she got some. Hold up. Oh man, it's too much. You know what? I'm feeling good this week, man. So as you can see, I had to switch up.
All right.
I had to switch
I'm
up.
feeling it. I'm feeling it.
It was cooking. It's been such. Aside from I told you I had a 3-hour conference call at work today.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I got to leave work early because my manager was like, you know what? I could tell you're exhausted. You've been working so hard. Go ahead and leave. So in addition to that, I left early. I didn't even get to have lunch. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop at Zaxby's on the way back. So I stop at Zaxby's, I order my food, and there's like 4 cars ahead of me. And it took like 10, longer. I didn't feel long to me because I was just in the car vibing like, hey.
All right, I got half a day. I got half a day back.
Hey. Oh, don't do it. Yeah. Oh, don't do it. Yeah. But so it took longer than normal. So I get there to get my food and I hit her my card and she was like, oh no, you're good. Yeah. You're good. I was like,
it's
what?
on the house.
Oh man,
you just having an MVP kind of day, man.
No, it's been a great week, man. An amazing week. And the best part about it? There's still 2 days left.
Wow.
So
gunshots.
Bow. So I'm just doing great, but I know it's been a while. Welcome back to the Pretend Adult World podcast.
Well, I'm glad you're doing great. I feel, oh man, you know how you feel when you miss like a few weeks in the gym and then you go back to the gym.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
That's how you feel.
I feel a little rusty.
You know what?
My week's been long.
Oh man.
I'm tired. I'm hungry.
I still got some Zaxby's in the fridge, man. If you...
All right, I'll be right back.
We're back. He's T. I'm Z. Not to be confused with T and Z. So, I want to open up the show real quick, just with some quick wisdom, a little quick hitter.
Okay.
So, upon driving home today, from my it wasn't a half a day, but I kind of had a revelation, because people, we talked about this on another episode, they like to struggle because I guess it makes them feel like, their life has, more meaning or is more important, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought about, I like to think of myself as a, I wouldn't say, happy-go-lucky guy, but a pretty positive person.
You're upbeat,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I try to apply, regardless of the situation, I try to apply that positivity-ness, which is probably not a word, to,
All right, Johnny Cocker.
if the glove fits. Anyway.
Oh, my bad. I meant, what's his name? Damn. Muhammad Ali's guy.
Ah, man. Well,
Mike Tyson's guy. My bad. See, I'm rusty. That's what I'm talking about.
We're good.
Shake the rust off.
Shake it off. So, but I try to apply that positive attitude to most everything, and it really made me think about, your mindset is so important, and one of the things I think that people have issues with, what do you determine is disrespect in your life? And so I'm going to give you 2 examples. The first example for me that made me think about all this is when I'm in the gym and I'm playing basketball and, some guy starts talking trash or popping off and it's like, oh, you're terrible, you suck, might call me a few swear words. It doesn't faze me because in my mind, I'm like, I know I'm good. I can play. That's your issue if you feel like I'm trash. I don't feel the need to justify myself. I don't know who you are. And so that's what made me think about, are you confident enough in yourself to know who you are, to not let what other people try to say or portray you as affect you? So that was the one example. And so to tie that over, and we're going to talk about this later as well, it made me think about relationships between men and women, where they may have this idea about what a real, we always see what a real man is, what a real man does. And so, women probably, most women want men protect their honors, which I understand by all means. But a scenario that you probably get in like a movie or TV show or something would be like, the man and the woman is out and like some other man calls the woman a bitch or something like that. And it's like, oh, the lady's going to be like, oh, you're just going to let him talk to me like that?
Right.
And in my head, thinking about this, I'm like, well, because I'm so like laid back, just think about myself in a scenario. I've never been in it, but just thinking about it would be like, well, honey, do you think you're a bitch? Because I know you're not a bitch. And you should know you're not a bitch. So why does it matter if this guy's calling you that? Like, why do you need me to go out of my way, to get in some sort of confrontation if we are the ones that matter in this situation?
Right, we're the ones that have the connections.
Right.
I don't call you that.
So, it just
and I feel you on that. I think like you say, just your outlook on a lot of things can affect how how you live your life. Like if you just thought about things differently, your whole outlook on life changes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, oh, and his name was Don King. Don fucking King.
There you go.
I remember. Dang, I just had to bring that up. That's disrespectful. No, that's disrespectful. You forget somebody's name. You call them something else.
Well, you got it, though.
Don King. Thanks, editors.
We
in the back. Appreciate y'all. Dang.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the other thing, like, one of the things I wouldn't say I struggle with, but like in the past, I've had people call me arrogant, and it always kind of touch a spot because like in my mind it's like I'm trying to think like what I don't go out and brag about the stuff I do. I'm always trying to help people, so it's like, where is this coming from? But then today, like, it finally hit me, like I had to think about the people that were calling me this and telling me this and that, and it's like, well, it's because when they're calling me arrogant, it's because they're trying to like demean me. Like they'd be like, oh, you're not as cool as you think you are, or so on and so forth. So because I'm not giving into, and it's not even criticism, like the down talk they're giving me, they're perceiving me as arrogant. So I'm like, oh, it all makes sense now. Like connections.
Yeah, that was a connection right there.
Thank you. So people, change your mindset,
Really, your life will change if you change your mindset. Trust me, for the better.
If you know you're not a bitch, don't be concerned if people call you one. Moral of the story. So, I know it's a little overdue, but we're just gonna go over it. NBA Allstar Weekend was 2 weeks ago, something like that. And, not much happened. A lot of people got on the court.
Yeah, it was forgettable, right? I mean, outside of the big story, which was is Westbrook gonna pass the ball to Durant? Are they gonna high five each other? Are they gonna kiss and make up?
Did that not annoy you?
It did. I mean, but that's how bad like this All-Star was this year, because there was nothing else no other headlines. Like there was no other headlines.
I don't think that's on the All-Star. I think that's just poor journalism.
That is true, but I'm just saying, like,
you got a handful of All-Stars together, and all you want to talk about, per Elias Bureau, Westbrook just walked past Durant.
Brassard's right.
Brian Windhorst just reported today that Westbrook walked past Durant and did not look at him. Guys, what does that mean? Let's talk about that for 10 minutes. Like, ESPN, I need you to do better. It's not a sports story. There are what I would say, there are sports stories, and then there are stories involving sports
players. Yeah, athletes, right.
I don't care. But ESPN is trying to be a whole culture, not just sports.
That's what I was going to say, and if you think about Jamel and Michael coming on at 6, that's a culture move right there. Because I don't know if you caught the 6 p.m.
I have
show
not.
yet.
I personally am not a fan of Jamil Hill. Like, I think she's great. I won't say great. She's good. She's one of the better female broadcasters on ESPN. Because some of them, I feel like they just have them there for no reason. Like, or
Just
maybe it's part of the like my favorite
from affirmative action.
yeah, my favorite female broadcaster is Doris Burke because she is all about sports. Like,
Yeah.
you know, some of the other females they have on there, they have them like doing like Twitter segments and stuff. Which I'm like, give them some real reports. Whereas Doris Burke, it's all like she'll give you the stats to, you know, like what's really going on as far as sports. So I love Doris Burke.
I'm gonna tell you, it's two things you could blame here. The reason for all this change at ESPN. Blame social media.
Check.
You know, because you got Twitter, Instagram, all this stuff. You know, that ESPN felt like they needed to hop on, right, to be trendy and to be, you know, stay relevant.
Right.
Number 2, blame Disney. Disney is to blame, man. Like they're taking blame Disney. They're changing sports, man. Like, we don't care about all this other stuff. Just give us the stats, give us the highlights.
Right. Like what do we? Hold on. Let me.
Pre-game and post-game interviews. That's what I want to see.
It's like,
and if it's a fight during the game, show that. Damn.
Right. It's like when remember, I want to say maybe a year or two ago, you know, you had Michael Sam, you know, come out.
Yeah.
And Jason Collins come out as well.
Yeah.
And we talked about this as well. Like, it doesn't matter. Whenever in a press conference have you heard, let's take LeBron James, for example. Whenever in a press conference have you heard anybody ask LeBron James about his sexual orientation or relationships? Like, when it comes to...
Can he still shoot? Right.
Right. Like, when they're giving out differences, unless you're going to count stats on it, to me, it doesn't matter. Unless you're going to be like, oh, well, he's the first openly gay player to score 10 points in a game.
Right.
It really doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't.
So why are you reporting on it? Like, could you imagine a press conference when they're like, you know, LeBron James or, you know, Kevin Durant comes out. It's like, you know, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out. This is something I've been dealing with for a long time.
Blame social media.
I thought
Number
it was
one.
a phase.
Blame social media.
But I love women too. You know, when I was younger, you know, I thought it was different.
Social media.
My teammates have been helping me through this.
Social media. That's what happened, man. I mean, you got all this stuff going on social media, like any kind of like movement, you know, Black Lives Matter, and
because they do.
I mean, yeah, I mean they do. You're right. But anything like that takes off on social media, ESPN has to make sure they cover it in some form or fashion. It's kind of crazy, you know, like gay rights and everything has really, I don't know if it's like a trend or something, but you know, it's going to be interesting.
It makes you more marketable when you're pro everything. Well, you know,
that's what I was going to say. Right.
Except Donald Trump. But anyway,
that's a good segment, man.
We're getting off topic. Anyway, so the All-Star Weekend, a lot of defense wasn't played. Westbrook would have won the MVP if they wasn't hating on him, but Anthony Davis won, scored a lot of points. I feel
like that was a PR move.
Oh, definitely.
That was a PR move.
All-Star game in a hometown?
Yeah, they had to give it to the hometown hero. New Orleans is struggling, man.
Well, we're going to get to that now. So, in addition to the All-Star Weekend, we had the NBA trade deadline. Now, there weren't too many big moves. You know, Serge Ibaka went to the Raptors.
That was a good move for them.
Yeah.
Dang, my damn Magic. I don't know what we're doing.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Right. I don't know if I'm going to be a fan next year, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know right now.
You can jump on the OKC.
It's been hard, man. It's been...
Come to OKC with us, man. We got Russ. I mean, he's still...
OKC, you know, it's funny. The irony with OKC is that they're like the Magic in the 90s. The early 90s. So
we talked about
brace for. Well, I mean, you already had the Shaq trade. You already had the Shaq trade.
Yeah, it already happened. But we're okay. We're okay right now. We're okay.
Okay.
But we got Taj Gibson and Doug McDermott. So, I'm cool with that. It's extra firepower off the bench. Cantor just came back from...
It's all downhill from here. Brace yourself.
Stop it.
Brace yourself.
Stop it. If Westbrook goes to the Lakers in 2 years, we're going to fight. Anyway, but the big move... You know what? I'm going to be the GM for the Kings in like 3 years. Once I hit the lottery, I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Because they're...
Go for it. You know what I mean?
I'm telling
Go for it.
I'm so serious. Look, trust the process.
GM for the Kings, I'll be the GM for the Magic. They in the same boat. So.
Trust the process. But so the Kings traded DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans for a bag of chips.
With a dab ranch. Water, not even name brand water, just like Kroger water. It was a trash bag.
And it was a flimsy. It had holes in the trash bag. Like,
it's the kind of trade that makes you think, like, damn, was DeMarcus that bad in the locker room? Like, they really wanted to get rid of him that bad?
It's not that. It's the manager or the GM or owner.
Someone's not.
Vivek.
Some words are being exchanged in that locker room, man. I don't know.
Vivek, I forget his last name, but he just doesn't know basketball. Plain and simple. Like, that's... I've watched like interviews, and they had like a draft special on them a couple years ago. Like, he's just a guy with a lot of money that's like, hey, it'd be fun to own a basketball team
right,
and make decisions, because that doesn't happen in most other organizations unless you're like Doc Rivers, where he had they got rid of Donald Sterling, so he had coaching and owner or GM responsibilities. And most others, like the GM or the owner will handle the business aspects and let the coach handle the player personnel, and then the GM would be like, oh well, under the salary cap we can afford this,
right.
But no, he's like, oh, I like this player, we're gonna draft him. It's like, but we already have 3-point guards. I like him, let's take him. So he doesn't know much, but they got rid of DeMarcus, and lo and behold, I think the Kings are 2-1 since they've got rid of him. Don't quote me on that. And the Pelicans are 0-3. So hey, maybe he knows something.
It's too early. It's way too early. The reason why the Pelicans haven't won because they were too busy celebrating Fat Tuesday. So, but they about to bounce back. They just let them get over that hangover of Mardi Gras, and they'll be all right.
Currently right now, the Denver Nuggets have the 8th seed in the West. I think the Pelicans are probably
They're not too far behind. They
3 or 4
have a
games
chance.
back. Do you think they get the 8th seed?
I think they do. I'm gonna put myself out there. I got the Pelicans at 8.
So they get swept
when it's all said and done, right?
The Warriors in the first round.
They're gonna play 4 extra games.
2 for the city. But we'll revisit that when the playoffs comes back around. But that was basically
that was it for the trades.
Uneventful.
They tried to get Carmelo in that media tried to build some momentum around
Butler,
Carmelo, but
Paul George, Boston didn't make any.
Then I hate them stories. Like, really, you thought Paul George was going to leave? He could have, but not now.
Like, don't know.
It wasn't.
But that was the uneventful All-Star Weekend. So with that being said, we're gonna take a quick break and then come back with some reviews. You know what, man? I need that Titanoboa, but
Man, that was a pretty good brrrah I just did.
It
that
was.
brrrah was pretty good, bro.
We might
have to cut that snippet out and put it on your next beat.
I was
bro.
like, we might have to bring the Banderas brothers out, man, for another another single, man. You guys don't know. Go look SoundCloud. Banderas Shake.
Shameless plug.
Banderas, no, they don't know who the Banderas brothers are. SoundCloud.
It's shameless because we know who they are.
Right. SoundCloud, Banderas Brothers, Bandera Shade. Go look it up, man. Go look it up.
Y'all
Anywho,
do that. Y'all do that.
Please
Get back to us. Let us know what you think.
right. So, once again, long overdue, but I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago, again, we saw the movie A Cure for Wellness. I think you remember the previous podcast. We did a little preview about it. Then we actually went out and saw it.
Hold up.
Wait.
Wait.
Breaking news.
I think I'm losing the tooth. Hold up. Some good
I got
this
some
is
breaking.
some good water. This is the Sonic boy. Where'd y'all get this from? The Alps, Switzerland?
I got some breaking news, man. Per TMZ, Rihanna, Drake, and Dwight Howard were seen at the premiere of this movie down at Atlantic Station.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
They were all there. If you don't know, T's
Without security, I mean, you could have walked right up on them and got a picture, autograph.
I think they cleared out the theater for them. You know, it was pretty.
Yeah, they had a private showing.
Yeah,
That was pretty neat.
it's pretty.
We got lucky to see them.
Yeah.
So.
For those of you who don't know, T's. Can I say significant other? Or is that too much?
Oh no, fine. That's
Better
fine.
half. T's
My friend.
T's. He said that, not me. But T's.
I'm just playing, baby. I love you.
T's lady friend looks like Rihanna, so I get told I look like Drake, and T kind of looks like Dwight. So, you know, that's where that goes. But anywho, we went and saw this movie. How'd you feel about it?
Well, I like what they were trying to go for. You know, I honestly. I didn't think it was that bad. I give it. It was average. It didn't really wow me, but it didn't like.
It wasn't terrible. It was like a
Right.
solid.
It didn't underwhelm me
right.
either. So it
Like
was
a
a
B,
solid
C+.
78, 79. Yeah.
82 with the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it didn't wow me. It was interesting, the concept. I felt like the movie drew out a little long.
So that was my problem too, and that was the problem my girlfriend had too. She just felt like the movie was just too long. Like they just tried to cram in too much. She was like, especially in the beginning, she was like that most of the you know the story leading up to when he gets out there to the rehab center or whatever you want to call it, like or the retirement home. I don't know what it was, but that build up to it was just probably a bit much, and they could have cut some of that out.
Yeah, I feel like that's a problem with a lot of movies. I don't feel like any movie really needs to be 2 hours. Like, you got to have a lot of stuff going on
For it to be 2 hours, but for you to like try to really develop the characters, like, and that's what ended up messing the movie up, is that you spent all that time trying to develop these characters, or you know this story. It was like they didn't execute it well.
Yeah.
Kind of lost. They lost me a little bit in it. I mean, I paid attention for the most part, but I was like, what? Like all of that? You did all of that build up just for that? Like, come on.
Like, I know a movie is good to me when I'm watching it, and during the movie, I don't get to a point where I'm like, okay, how much time is left in the movie?
Right.
How are they gonna absolve this?
Right. Because it's like when they got to the part where, you know, he's starting to lose his teeth and stuff, I was feeling a little fatigued. I'm like, okay, like, damn, like this movie is still not over. Like, shit, like, is this, like, I was just like you, I'm looking like, oh, this must be how they're gonna end it. It must be a part 2 coming out or something.
You know, you look at your watch and there's 45 minutes left. Like,
right.
So what possibly more can you do?
Which, you know, that's when you find out that the dude's been alive for 200 plus years, and
right.
You know,
so I guess we can give a quick, you know,
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah,
we'll get better at this.
Or
we'll
maybe
get better,
not.
Or not. I mean,
just assume all of our reviews have spoilers.
You might. You might want to read the about me section before you click play on the videos.
Yeah, we'll figure it out at some point. So there's a young gentleman by the name of Lockhart who works at what's it, an investing firm? It's kind of stocks.
He's like a salesman, right?
Sales, yeah, accounts.
Yeah.
And so, he's just trying to be on the road to riches, young strapping lad. But apparently,
trying to work his way up.
Apparently, the way he closed one of the accounts, he forged some of the numbers, which it's bad, but it's not Wall Street, but it's business. Like, it's the common practice,
right?
But somehow the managers, the higher, being the board of trustees, we'll call them, come and find out this, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get audited and we're gonna get in trouble for this. So we think you're young and you're great, but you made a stupid mistake, and someone has to take the fall for this. It just so happens that one of our board of trustees sent us a letter about a week ago, basically losing his mind. And so everybody has the idea, like, well, we've got this letter, we can give this to, the commissions or whatever, and basically just say, this guy's going batshit, and he, forged these numbers.
Right.
But in order for that to happen,
he has to sign off on... Didn't he have to sign off on something?
Well, they just needed him back. But yeah, he had to sign off on a merger deal.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So,
but they still needed him back to throw.
Right.
They need to bring him back to throw him under the bus,
right? So they give Lockhart the task of, well, you go back and bring Mr. Pembroke here, and
we'll forget all about it.
Yeah, we'll forget all about it.
Yeah, we'll work some magic.
Right. So he's like, hey, I'm trying to make it up in the company. So he takes, the flight out to, was it Sweden?
Sweden.
Let's say Sweden.
Yeah.
And they take him up to, this remote location where they got, the health spa.
The view was now, the view was.
The
views.
Cinematography.
Okay, there you go.
Come on, man.
I mean,
you're the artistic director.
I'm thinking
you're the artistic developer of the show. I need you.
We gotta reach everybody, all right? You say cinematography, I say views.
Right,
you know what I mean? You gotta reach the urban demographic.
Gotcha.
All
right. Social media, man. Hashtag
right.
Viewcinematography.
Disney, ESPN, no. Hey.
Shout out to Jamel. But yeah, the landscapes and the scenery shots were very, very well done.
Yeah.
So he makes it up to the resort or whatever, where health care facility, retirement home / loony bin, and it's just a bunch of like old people. It looks like the mental institute in Shutter Island. There's just people out on lawns.
The movie
around.
itself had that whole Shutter Island feel. The guy's going out to find somebody. Well, in Shutter Island, he was a detective, and yeah, right. I was gonna say he was a detective trying to find, but the whole, I'm out here looking for something, bigger than me kind of thing,
Which Shutter Island was good.
Shutter Island was. That was a good 2 hours.
No. But, when you got Leonardo, you're working with it. With the guy that played Lockhart, he was good.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah.
But, Leonardo DiCaprio,
I don't know if
another.
Did it bother you or, pals listening? Did it bother you every time you took a drink? Like,
yes.
That shit was bugging me, though.
I know it's a movie, but everybody,
He kept taking drinks like this, y'all. I'm like, come on, how much emphasis are they gonna make on the water? Like, okay, we get it. There's something in the water.
He shouldn't have been drinking the water in the first place. Like, you could tell something was going on. But anywho, so he's wanting to try to find Pembroke, and they're like, visiting hours is over. And so, he's getting all buff and bravado with the owner or director, whatever you want to call himself, of the... I was about to say plantation, but that's another thing. And so there's a lady there, and who's a patient or I don't even know what to call him. There's so many different names. A resident of this reservation.
Right.
And she's like there, but not all there. But she's slowly giving him clues. Like he can tell, like, okay, she's a little different from everybody else here. But so he's never ever really able to find Pembroke or get time with Pembroke.
He finds them, like he find
not
the
at
one.
First.
All right, at first, yeah. He's sorry.
They're trying to delay him.
Well, I'm trying not to. Just how that movie tried to delay him. I'm not trying to delay them.
Right.
From
So he does
this review.
Yeah. He found him after the car crash.
Yeah, when he was.
Okay,
go ahead.
So
you can get to that part. Yeah.
He's trying to find Pembroke, and he ends up snooping around the facility, pretending like he's him. He finds Pembroke, during one of his solo treatment sessions, and Pembroke understands what's going on. He's like, I know you guys are trying to put the fall on me, but I'm happy here. And then for some reason, he was like, you know what? F it. Like, all right, let's go. So Lockhart is like, I'm not staying here. I'm going to go back, down in the town and stay at a hotel. And then me and Mr. Pembroke are leaving tomorrow. Upon his way leaving, he gets in a car accident and breaks his legs. You can't see it, but air quotations. He breaks his legs, ends up in a bed back at the reservation place. And
I got a question about that really quick. I don't mean to cut you off.
What?
So did that crash really happen?
It did. However,
like, because the whole point that it seemed like because when you see the driver, I know I'm fast forwarding y'all, but anyway, when you see the driver at the end in the bar, it's like, and he's talking about the car and stuff like, oh, I didn't need that car. I'm like, wait, did the crash happen? And was he like part of it? Like he kept like alluding like he didn't have a choice but to try to kill them.
Right.
Like I was kind of confused on that part.
It happened, but as we find out later, he didn't really break his legs.
Yeah.
They just used it as a ploy to keep him longer in the, mental institution.
Right.
But so, they tell him he breaks his legs and he's hobbling around and slowly, like, he's still drinking the water, which, as everybody, at this point in the movie's figured out, something's in the water. So slowly, like, he knows something's going on, but slowly he's starting to turn into the rest of the old people that are there. But meanwhile, he finds this girl who's so enchanting, and she's old, but she's young. Or she's young? No,
She was 122 years old.
But we don't find that out. Like, she looks like she's a teenager, but her demeanor and her speech are as if she's a child.
Yeah.
And the warden...
119. We'll say 119.
Right. A young 119. But basically, like, she's like a daughter to the lead, head guy of the mental institution. And, oh man, like, let's wrap this up because this movie is long. I'm already
see what I mean?
So basically,
we're doing what the movie did to us.
So basically, the backstory is that, and the lady gives it. Back in the early 1900s, this mental institution, the guy that owned it, what's it called? Incest. He only wanted to have a child with his sister because he felt like if he didn't, then the bloodlines would be impure.
The guy was looking for the cure to mortality, pretty much.
Right.
That's the whole pretty much point of the movie. And what he's doing is he's tricking
the old wealthy
people.
He's
manipulating them because he's pretty much, before he would just have to find people and like try to kill them to like he's using their blood along with like squid water,
ill magic,
right, to get this, to make this potion where he lives forever. But before he was just killing anybody. Now he's taking these older people and tricking them, manipulating them to think that, hey, this is a cure, this is a cure for wellness, happiness. If you come here, you stay at my little retreat here, I'll give you the cure. When in reality, he's just using their bodies to make his own cure.
Right.
So
it turns out that he's actually so she's like 119, he's like 150,
right.
60.
Right.
And so that turns out to be the young old young girl is actually his daughter, and so he's going through the thing again where it's like, well, I'm only gonna have a child with somebody who's already of my kin because the bloodlines will be pure.
Right.
So he can't do that. No, we're not even going to talk about that because that's taking longer. Anywho, Lockhart basically like awakens. He makes the young girl woke about her situation.
Right.
But in the process of making her woke, he himself becomes asleep. And so once she's figured out, like, oh, I haven't been living the real world, like, he's already in a trance now. Mm-hmm. And she's upset because she was like, well, he was actually one of the people that was different. Mm-hmm. And now he's like everybody else. So, like, what does this mean? It's a double rainbow. Like,
yeah.
So they're trying to figure that out. Find out that there's, the dungeon, the ill magic. And so a little trinket that he had got from his mom, he gave to the girl. She gives it back to him, wakes him up out of the trance, and he was like, we're gonna burn this bitch down. Well, unintentionally it happened, but they basically burned the
burned it down, burned the guy down. The end.
Wait. So he's leaving on a bike with the young girl, and the board of trustees actually came to try to find him. They're like, what are you doing? You were supposed to bring Pembroke back a couple days ago. You're gonna get fired. You messing this up. And he was like, I'm woke now. I don't care. Like, hey, sleep is the new broke.
Sleep. We ain't gonna do it. Don't do it. No free advertisement.
Anywho, so they're trying to get him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm out." So he rides off on the bike, ET style, and that was the end of the movie. So that was a cure wellness. Like I said, I'll give it 78, 80. It wasn't a bad movie, kind of drawn out, but it had its moments.
Moral of the story: don't trust these bottled waters, right? Don't trust these bottled waters. Dasani, Aquafina, don't trust it.
Don't do it. So, that brings us to our next movie. I gotta clap, because this movie was a masterpiece. Get Out by Jordan Peele.
Get the fuck out. Wow. I mean,
I'm speechless right now.
It was shockingly amazing.
It was like
I don't know. I don't have the words to really describe it.
It was
good,
so
man.
well done. Like, it had the perfect mixture of, like, I wouldn't really call it
was a good balance of like comedic relief with seriousness, with the dramatic effects and stuff, and special effects. I mean, everything was just done well.
Yes.
And he had like a $4 million budget.
It was so
good.
Like, the one thing I'll say, and this is not to take away from the movie, this is more people talking about it. Like, I don't really consider it a horror movie. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's a difference between horror movies.
It's a thriller,
psychological thrillers. But,
yeah.
this is coming from a guy that watches stuff like The Human Centipede. So, to me, there's a whole different realm of
I agree.
horror movies and psychological thrillers. But, yeah, it was great. You know what? It was so good. I don't want to talk about it right now. I think we need to do a whole show.
We do. That movie deserves his own episode.
It was so great. So we're not going to talk about it right now. Just know it was. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Support Jordan Peele.
I see it twice. Yeah, I'm planning on seeing it again.
Might see it again. Probably not. But it was good. So go check it out, please.
Yeah. And you seen it twice, and a friend of mine, Dina. Check out her podcast, by the way. Shout out to Dina.
Yes, shout out.
They have the Negro Justice League. You can find it on Apple Music, Google Play.
Are we on any of those?
coming soon.
Okay.
It's in the works.
All right,
You know, we gotta work something out with Apple.
Yeah, it's just some contracts that I gotta.
Negotiations kind of went south, but we're gonna get it back.
You know, I had to
just be on the lookout for it. It's coming
anyway,
soon.
yeah. Shout out to the
shout out to Dina and Negro Justice League. Y'all check
sure.
them out. She's been helping us get a little better at this. So, but yeah, she saw the movie twice as well. She said that it's even better the second time around because, of course, Z can agree on this that you kind of see some stuff that you missed before, some of the subliminal scenes and points they were trying to make in that movie. But yeah, round of applause to Jordan Peele. He really did that, man. Congrats, and y'all go see that movie. It's worth seeing.
For sure.
Get out.
And go to the theaters. So we will actually review something. Our man Lupe Fiasco. It's been a long time coming because FNF. He's been talking about this for probably like the last 2-3 years.
I'm kind of mad at Lupe too, man. Like last year, he kept like I said, it probably was a PR stunt, some shit, but some I'm retiring, I'm done. And then, first he says, first he's like, I'm coming out with 3 more albums and that's it. Mm-hmm. Then he went out to name them. Then he's like, all right, well, now I'm retiring, I'm done with music. Then he's like, okay, Drogas.
Yes.
Light.
Yes.
Now I'm like, so that kind of made me mad. But anyway, Drogas Light, let's talk about it.
Well, with Lupe, there's a lot of... It's not his fault, because he's open about his situation with Atlanta.
Yeah, I know.
So, I'm not going to put that on him. But, like I said, he does... I don't want to say emotional, but he's very vocal on Twitter, on social media in general. But I like it.
Yeah.
He's a good follow.
Yeah.
But Drogas Light, and so for those you don't know, he's releasing 3 albums and then retiring, or so he says. Drogas Light, Drogas, and Skulls. So the one that just came out is called Drogas Light. Don't have the track listing with me here, but I believe it's about 12 to...
Editor. Hey,
Hey,
come here, man. Dang. We ain't paying you.
Those interns need to do work, man.
Man, we need a new
What
crew.
are we not paying them for?
What are we? All right, but yeah, Drogas Light. All right, give me your opinion on how you felt about it overall.
Overall, I really liked it. So the way it started off, I was a little iffy. Because it was like, there's as Lupe's progressed over his career, and I feel like he's gotten more freedom in making the kind of music he wants.
Right.
I think you've noticed there's like a gangster side of Lupe. Like you remember Tesso and Youth Chopper?
Now, and that's how I felt. I feel like this whole album had like that Chopper, like, feel to
Billy
it.
Blue and Trouble.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, and what I liked about it is that he kind of was like, it was kind of like a modern Lupe, kind of with this trap music era. You never hear like that side of Lupe. It's outside of like Chopper's, like you got very few, very few songs with him like rapping that kind of style.
And he's from Chicago, so it's like,
right.
Like even if you're not a gang member, if you've grown up to Chicago, if you've been to Chicago, I've been to Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't go out past 9 or 10. Like I'm staying at the hotel. Like,
right.
Not worth it, but
I ain't going out either, especially on the South Side. That's what they say. That's where they get live at. I ain't trying to get live out there.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, it was good to hear like this different kind of side from Lupe, but still, making meaningful music, but more of like the trap music type of style, the catchy kind of style.
Right.
I really appreciate that. And, Lupe is talented. He can rap in any kind of style that he wants.
Yes. As we
And
saw
if you
in
don't,
SLR2.
I was about to say, and if you don't know what we're talking about, do your research. Go listen to SLR2, Lupe Fiasco. Niggas think they rapping cause they rapping like they Wayne, rapping like they flame.
Stop.
Oh, sorry.
Might have to pay some royalties. But I like it, like like I said at the beginning, and I actually heard a few of those songs because he performed, Made It in the USA
Yep.
When we saw him.
Law,
which Law is
Law.
such a great song.
It is.
But it took so long for it to come out. And then I told you that on that Future Drake album, they took that beat. I forget what the name of the song is. Diamonds Dancing.
Yeah. You told me that
Yeah.
was the beat that he.
No.
No.
Me and my friends got money to spend.
Oh,
I don't remember her name of the song, but it's the same exact spin, the same
It's
exact
not
beat.
Rotation, is it?
No. That's
Not
on
Rotation.
Future.
That's
so,
yeah.
That's the DS2. With Russell Wilson in the video, they never released.
Right.
But I've heard that, and I had been listening to Jump, the song with Jizzle on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I heard those before, and I really, I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. But then when it got to the second half of the album, that's when I really you had I wish I had the track list with me right now.
Okay. I did.
Editor.
Come back.
I think the song was called High. It was the one with the sample on it.
Hold on, waiting on our editor here.
Wait for it. Yeah.
Come on, editor. What are you doing? That might be the name of it. Let's see.
Go ahead, drop that.
Let's see. Okay.
So scrolls. There we go. So City of the Year. That's when I'm like, okay,
City of the Year was hot. Yeah.
All right, and then that went in the high. You got the the sample on that. Mm-hmm. Then the Tranquilo. I really
Tranquilo was that. I was like, what?
Right.
Rick Ross, okay.
That whole second Kill. I love Kill. As a strip club aficionado, I loved Kill. It was the perfect soulful yet. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say ratchet, but he just combined the two, the perspectives of the strip club from the male and the female so well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the whole second half of the album, it was amazing to me. I loved it.
Yeah, like I said, some of the songs were kind of old as far as they came out a while ago that he decided to put on the album. So I've heard a few Law. Law is a good song.
Mm-hmm. Pick up the phone's been out for a while.
Yeah,
Made in the USA.
Made in the USA. Oh yeah, and that's probably my favorite line. He was "Chopper made in Smyrna." I was like, "Hey,
right."
Shout out there, hey, I used to live there, hey.
Right?
So I thought that was pretty cool, man. But
I know what that is.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I may have to listen to it again. I really haven't how I did Text on You. I listened to that thing front and back.
Oh yeah.
I need to do the same with this.
Give me that sax solo off the cuff real quick.
Oh God.
I'm gonna learn how to play that. When I learn how to play that, you guys will hear that on the podcast. You don't know I do play a little sax. Anywho,
shameless plug.
Yeah, you guys looking for a sax or a bass player? Anywho, though, if you haven't heard Drogaslight, please go out and support Lupe. Great artist. Don't wait till he retires to appreciate him. So, even though I've been having such a great week, we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, I got a rant, man. It's some things we need to talk about.
It's time to vent.
So we're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back with some rants. Not Kevin Durant's though. And we're back. T.
Z.
We got a problem, man. So, I don't know if you've seen it, because I haven't seen it. But there's this video that was going around on social media. #HurtBay. And it's
I don't know. I wasn't watching. I don't know. I wasn't watching.
You're good.
You haven't seen it yet, but that was a joke from it.
So that's one of those things. It was posted so many times, and just by the posture of the people in the videos, I can tell I don't want to watch this. I already know what it's gonna be about.
The hashtag was #HurtBay. Man, I'm loving these. Man, yo, Black Twitter's undefeated, man. #HurtBay, we're winning with social media.
Coach. So you actually saw the video. Go ahead, break it down for us.
All right. So pretty much the video is about. It's like a post breakup, reconciliation kind of thing. Like, we're finally past all the hurt, situation where we can finally like sit down and actually talk about what happened. Like,
Right.
And that's what was going on. It was a couple, young black couple, and the girlfriend just pretty much is just, just interrogating the guy for the most part. Like, well, first I don't even say that, but it turned into that. Well, at least the little part of the interview that's all over social media. So pretty much, they're talking about the good times, and then she's like, oh, until you fucked it up by cheating on me. And then she's just like, how many times? This is the big part. Like, how many times? And he's like, I don't know. I wasn't counting.
I did see that snippet.
And then that kind of went viral, and all these memes came out. And, I remember when they did a meme with Lil Uzi Vert, and they were like, how many times did you say, yeah, in your song? And he's like, I don't know. I wasn't counting. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but basically, that's the gist of the video, right?
Yeah.
See, I could have told you that, and I didn't even watch it.
Right.
So, with that video being posted so many times, I just saw like the comments on it.
I'm surprised you didn't watch it yet.
I'm not like everybody else, where you just see things and then you gotta be absorbed. Like, there's certain stuff I know, like.
Well, the only reason I watched it was because I wanted to understand what the memes were. I'm like, why? Where are these memes coming from?
I mean, there's not a lot. By no means, there's nothing wrong with watching it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I know yourself. I know, like, just by looking at it and seeing the titles and stuff, like this is not going to add anything to my life. So I don't want to spend my time invested in this. But so then I
want
see
to waste some 4 minutes.
Right. It could be used for, Titanoboa. So,
shout out to Side Baby.
Yes, for sure. So I'm seeing like the comments that girls are leaving on the video, or they're reposting it, talking about, see, this is the problem with us, we're, giving all our time to men like this and that, and just talking about like all these bad, what did the one girl say? She was like, this is what we get for chasing like Bryson Tillers and Drakes, and basically like taking the blame for it, but not taking the blame for it. In my head, like, relationships and power to you, man. Because I feel like I'm going to be single forever.
Pound it.
I just don't feel like I have the necessary energy in today's world for what I see how relationships start, or at least materialize to get to that point. Because from my end, and maybe, we have different physiques and whatnot, so maybe it's easy for you, to attract, the females. But for me, it's like,
I work out.
I pretend to work out. It's so frustrating because I feel like, in general, or at least in my experiences, like, girls, they're not open in the sense of like meeting people. They're so paranoid and pessimistic about what a guy's intentions are that it's like you can't even have a real conversation or spend time with this guy or get to that point, because you're always in the back of your head feeling like there's an ulterior motive, and you're putting the guy in his position where you feel like, well, he needs to prove
to me,
right? And it's like
that he's worthy of my love,
right? And it's like, what are you really bringing to like that?
Yeah.
To me, it makes me feel like, as a guy, because I want more, than sexual intimacy, that I'm high maintenance. Like, you can't answer a real question for me. You can't text me or let me know when you want to hang out, you want to spend time.
I'm gonna say this. It's like,
because that's what a real man does. He does all that.
Right. Women, I just feel that, how society has kind of molded us as, young kids and stuff, excuse me. That they kind of mold women to, think like the Prince Charming kind of thing. Oh, number 2, blame Disney. See, Disney is behind it all. I'm telling y'all, man.
I got something I'm gonna backtrack, but continue.
Turning us into sex slaves and shit. Sorry about the shit part. But anyway, no, but really, like, the cartoons, everything is like women have to, the prince in shining armor and all that, and it's like, or knight in shining armor, and it's like, and I think just women just date, to find the one in almost every, in that guy that they date, they feel like it's the one. Every time they date a guy, he's the one. And it's like, I think that what really needs to happen, on both ends, is that you just need to talk about it, communicate, like, hey, I like you, I want to take it to that kind of level, or hey, this is just a, quick little, right? Yeah, it's casual, like it, right? It ain't that serious. And like I said, as long as both sides are in agreement to, to that, and no one's like lying, just being honest, like. But and all right, now back to the men. It's our fault too, because sometimes we lie.
It's not my fault.
I read a quote. I read a quote somewhere where it was like, or I just seen it on Instagram, social media. See, where they were like, men fake a relationship for sex, and women fake sex for a relationship, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem right there, is that we're just not communicating what we want well enough on both sides. There's no connection. The connection's been severed.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it's like, then you got women like, oh, like you said, like going in on the hurt base stuff, like, oh, this is our fault and all this and that. It's just like, well, you gotta just kind of just be honest with yourself and be real and let the person know, what you want. Stop making every guy that you date the guy. You know what you're getting into.
Right.
Just like, like, okay, that's an asshole right there. Like, that's not gonna change. He a dog. Like, he's not gonna change. So you know that when you're going into something, like, that's what I'll say. Women need to stop doing that. Man, we just gotta stop lying.
I'm gonna give 2 points, and then we can wrap this up. So I'm gonna have an open Drake moment.
Okay.
With our pals. We're all pretend adults here, and I'm telling you, it's so funny because I thought about this the other day. It's really like the difference between men and women. In my pretend adult life, and over the span of these 27 years. It's a little graphic, move the kids out the room.
Spoiler alert.
I have received fellatio, but I've never given it. And I thought to myself, why is that? Because in these situations that I've been with females, I communicate. I'm like, hey, this is what I want. But they have never say like, hey,
pretend adult world.
After dark. But you know what I'm saying? Like how
we have to have another segment. But yeah, I feel
how interesting that is. Like maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the fact that
so I'll say, all right. I'm asking you. So have you ever asked them if they wanted it back, or you just kind of just
a few of them I did.
Okay.
And they were even too shy to talk about it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna push you, and like either you want something, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't act like, oh, I'm a man, I'm supposed to do like
right.
Communicate.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right.
So anywho, that was just funny to me. But so to bring it back full circle, I was having a conversation with my female friends, and she was like, oh, I want to be treated like a princess. And I responded with, well, in order to be a princess, you got to do things princesses does. And I had a funny thought the other day, like I was going to make a Facebook status out of this. Everybody, all females want to be a queen until you watch Game of Thrones and see what queens really go through and got to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because, and back to your point, blame Disney.
I'm telling you, man. They
glorify, the bright parts. Like they
glorify the
queens
woman,
and princesses just seem like
just
the
They're
kings
just
and the
graceful.
kingdoms do
All they gotta
everything.
do is just be there, like pretty much.
Appearance-wise, that's what their job was. But
Yeah.
when you get into the full circle for it, they were baby machines. Like they were. Go watch Game of Thrones. That pretty much sums
Now
it up.
I'll say like the early Disney movies, which all pals our age.
Yeah.
That's what they got to relate to. Where it's just like she didn't really, like I say, didn't really. Most of the princesses didn't really do a lot. But like they're changing a little bit. Disney, social media, blame social media. Disney's been trying to come around, but yeah, it's just, oh man, I feel you on that.
But yeah, that's the rant. So if you've got qualms or questions, comments, dirty jokes, leave them in the comments, or feel free to YouTube, Instagram. We can continue the conversation. Twitter, P_adultworld. That's just the rants I need to get off my chest. So we're gonna
get it off your chest, brother.
Get off my chest.
Bench press that guy.
Yeah, pretend adult workout. So we're gonna take one last break. When we come back, we're gonna have the pretend adult tip, the PAT of the day.
All right.
Pretend Adult World After Dark is over, so you can bring the kids back in.
Kids can come back.
Come back in. You can take
listening to this family show that we have.
So, last time we were here, we talked about trust the process. You gotta believe in the process, but in order to trust the process, you have to have a process. So. Today's pretend adult tip, people have hashtags. Hashtag MAP. MAP. Make a plan or make a process, whichever one you desire.
I saw that on the paper, I was like, what map? What the hell is it?
Yeah, people love...
It's come to me now,
Yeah.
You brought it full circle.
Because, connections. You make a plan, what's a map? A way to get to your destinations.
What are you going? Door to explore on right now. What? Look at here.
Look at all these connections I got going on. And so, there's an example I wanna give. There's a quote that I heard, and I love quotes, a while ago, that oftentimes frustrations come from us wanting to have things before we're supposed to have them. And so a real life example that I always think about in regards to that is when you're out driving to a certain destination and you see people like speeding or just driving recklessly. And what that says to me is either they're bad drivers or they didn't make the proper plan to go where they needed to go and they're late. So they're trying to make up for that. Mm-hmm. And, by driving recklessly, you're putting yourself in danger. You're putting other people in danger, as opposed to if you would have just made a plan to get out earlier. You wouldn't have such anxiety about, I gotta make this light before it turns red, or I gotta, cut this person off before I miss the exit.
What if they like to live on the edge, though?
You can make a plan to live on the edge.
Nah. I'm just trying to find an excuse because that's how I drive every day. I'm always.
Are you Jamaican?
I'm always driving like that in the morning, boy. I push it to the limit. I live life on the edge in the morning going to work, man. You got to do it. Live. You got to live.
I mean, I rented a Ferrari 2 years ago, and I was pushing 160, and I wasn't even the fastest person driving on the highway in Miami. So I was like, hey, this a rental. You in the red Corvette, you in the black Camaro, you got it.
You win.
You good. I'm just trying to make it down to King of Diamonds. So. But you know what? And I hate that because there's some people who feel like if you have a plan for things, oh, it's boring, it's mundane.
Can't be spontaneous.
Right. Well, you can be a spontaneous planner, but you've got to understand when you don't make a plan, you're leaving so much room for, things to go wrong. Now, like you said,
things
if
to
you
fall through, really.
Right. There's so many unknowns that could happen that at least you could say, okay, I'm going to have a plan, to at least be somewhere. Now from there, because that's how I kind of approach, trying to find female counterparts. I don't have a plan as far as, okay, I'm going to see her, I'm going to say this. If she says this, I'm going to say that. But I figure, okay, if I go to this place, there should be people there, hopefully females. That's the plan. From there,
The map.
that's the map. From there, we'll see what happens. But at least have a plan to say, okay, I'm going to take it upon myself to get out, be social, and try, to put myself in a position. But it's not as if, okay, well, I don't know. I'm just going to go out. I'm just going to do something.
Right.
What I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see where the night takes us.
Like you said, sometimes, like it's cool to be spontaneous. I mean, honestly, I feel most times women like men who kind of do have a plan, even though they say like spontaneity.
Oh, they do.
But they really like the planned spontaneous moments.
Right. It's always planned. It's just spontaneous to them because they don't know.
They don't know about it. Right.
I've
They
been
want you to
planning
plan, but they want to be surprised.
Right. They don't want to involve the plan, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna me on my
It's so
end.
spontaneous.
Right. It's like, no,
This is
I've
like
been
months of planning.
Right. I'm gonna take her to this restaurant or whatever. But it's like if I tell her about it, then on her end, she's gonna take the excitement or whatever. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna plan all this, but I'm not gonna tell her until closer to the time. But it's like, no, there's still a plan. It's just been spontaneous to you because you didn't want to be involved in the planning.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you gotta make a plan, people.
You do.
Make a plan and trust the process.
Right.
Know yourself. Connections.
I
Just
agree.
take these pretend adult tips, apply them to your everyday life because they'll help you out a lot. So,
All right. So there's not going to be. Well, I mean,
no.
This is tease time right now.
Yeah.
It's tease time. Look,
Get out the 9-iron.
get out the 9-iron. Get out your cups.
Get out your red Tiger Wood shirts.
Get out the
Golf carts.
yeah.
Did you see the video for Swang, Ray Shermer?
No, they got a video for it.
Yeah. They're on a
Travis
golf
Scott in
course.
it?
Nah. Even though Travis Scott killed that song. But yeah, it's tea time, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, y'all. Not gonna keep y'all, for too much longer. Just wanted to use this time to just say we're trying to do a couple of new things with our platforms, our social media platforms. Be on the lookout. We're gonna start, since we kind of don't want the shows to get longer, but we want to talk about more stuff. So we decided that we're gonna add some songs, just like some songs that you guys may be interested in, or some songs that we just found an interest in that we think you guys should check out.
A Paul playlist.
Yeah. Playlist, and also a list for movies and shows that we like. So, like I said, we don't want to keep the show. We don't want to add more to the show, but we want to.
Unless you want to hear us talk for long.
I mean, if y'all want to hear us talk,
right.
we could talk all night. You know what I
Right.
mean? Hey,
Keep it going.
okay. Look, we could do this.
Hey, the laptop plugged in, so it ain't going nowhere.
So just be on the lookout for that on our Instagram page, which is pretend.adult.world. The Twitter,
P_adult_world.
the Twitter page, and what other page do we?
YouTube.
YouTube. That's it.
You should
So,
probably
yeah.
listen to us right now.
Yeah.
YouTube. Or SoundCloud. Gotta update the SoundCloud though.
We still got that.
Don't tell anybody.
Editor, just edit that part out.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks again for joining.
He's T. I'm Z. Not to be confused with TMZ. Thank you so much.